I've heard about what happened to you during Mondstadt's crisis. When you came, this place was known as Storm Terror's lair. But I suppose that this place is more lair than Storm Terror at this point. In fact, if my memory serves, this ruin has had largely nothing to do with that dragon for a long time. The first time I laid eyes upon the ruins of Old Mondstadt, the dragon of the East had yet to fall, much less come to nest in this place.
Huh? But Paimon remembers that Dvalin first got in trouble hundreds of years ago.
Don't think too much about it. Do you remember the light actuators that once sealed this ruin? If the Abyss Order is interested in this location, then they will not neglect those mechanisms. Let's go see what the situation is at those light actuators.
Let's do. And we're gonna fight.
Look! There are
surprised.
lots of monsters gathered over there. Anything else? Nope. Sorry, these little alerts annoy me. Interesting. Did not mean to do that.
I keep watching.
Don't. Okay, I see. I like it better. All right.
Ouchie! I'll protect us. Go, Barbara!
Let's go. Come here. Come on, Sergeant.
Come on! We can do it!
Slowly but surely.
Disappear.
Let it rain!
I didn't mean to jump down.
That's cheating!
Now, come on.
I'll race you there! Go, go, Baron Bunny! Bet you can't keep up with me!
Quit running around. What's wrong with this game today?
Let's dance!
Ooh. Come on. Guys, annoying.
Hey!
Come on, heal everybody. Can't catch me. At least if I can kill one of these guys, it's gonna get a lot easier. Alright.
Go, Barbara, go!
This little freak here.
No one escapes my sights!
That took a lot longer than it should have.
Oh, so in the end, we still couldn't find that Abyss Herald. Bummer.
I wouldn't call not having to gaze upon such a creature a shame exactly. Still, I do believe that you will come across one eventually.
No, you're right. If it's a really powerful monster, it would be best to go around
Let's
it.
fight it.
How good it would be if all perils one encounters in their journeys could simply be solved by going around them. Once upon a time, yes. I simply have experience from adventuring together with that traveling companion.
You know, Dane, you keep talking about that person this and that person that. Where are they now, anyway?
She no longer travels. I'm afraid that traveling can be too exhausting at times.
Oh, is that how it is? Well, why are you traveling alone then?
I still have some things left unfinished. Once they are done, I too...
Yep, and it's good to have a home to come back to, isn't it? We camp out a lot when we travel. Hey, once you find your sibling, we should find a place to stay too, shouldn't we? Mondstadt's Fisherman's Toast is pretty tasty, but Liue's Wanmin restaurant is great. Either way, we should settle down in a place where there's good food.
Home.
Oh.
Well, it won't be too late to think about where you stay once your journey reaches its end. While you're still traveling, you should...
Huh? What's familiar?
A familiar feeling, you say? It could be someone you know well, or perhaps a monster. Whichever it is, we should see it for ourselves, and thus see clearly.
Dun, dun, dun.
We can reach the top of that cliff from over there. Let's go.
Whoa, Dane moves really fast, doesn't he? Let's use that wind current nearby to catch up.
And we're caught up.
Can you still sense that familiar feeling that you spoke of?
But it doesn't feel like there's anything around here. No monsters, no people, nothing.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything strange about this place. It doesn't look any different from the last time I was here. My traveling companion brought me here on our previous journey.
He is older than he looks.
So, Dane, what about you?
Me? I no longer remember. I merely followed my traveling companion around on that journey. That's all there was to it. Huh? A ruin guard's footprint. A ruin guard was wandering around here? No peace to be found, even for a single dandelion.
What's gotten into you? You were just spacing out. Huh? You mean your sister? But how could that be? You only touched that dandelion for a second.
Perhaps that dandelion bears some sort of scent that only you recognize. As for why, has it perhaps experienced something related to you?
You're saying some real confusing stuff.
Do not rush. Vexation and anxiety are the enemy of rational thought. Your journey has only just begun, has it not? At least you now know that she is still on this world. At this time, the most important thing is the journey to find her itself. Yes, and this is something you must keep in mind as the meaning behind your journey. May you find your kin at the end of that journey. Well then, let us part ways here for now.
Something about. I
You're
bet the
leaving?
evil
Already?
lady that separated
Only
me
for
and my
now.
sister.
Don't worry, we
Traveling.
will meet again. After all, I did take 500 mora and those 3 answers you gave me.
Oh. Nice.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin de
Didn't even know I had it. Hey. Where to go now? Here. Perfect.
I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement.
Better hit play.
Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project.
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float. Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the Jade Chamber. Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when.
And how am I gonna
take
find
the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find, and in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question. You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer. I trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyuet Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is
Dang.
priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
Haha, what a coincidence. I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day. So excuse me all, but, I have some business to do.
No. We better move quickly.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This...
Let's
So
get
you
moving.
heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested? Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will... Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, first we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fishy.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more—
No, I don't need it.
Ah, don't be like that. Hey, come on, don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh,
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information. Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them and see what we can find out. They're not here. Let's keep looking.
here they are.
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run. Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady.
He
I
doesn't
shouldn't
give
have to
up,
spell
does
this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't.
No more excuses! Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Shinyu at kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again.
Look at their mouth.
How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own business! I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No,
Get it.
Don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Shenhe,
Shenhe?
my name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the
That's
situation.
what we do.
I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent.
I like her.
This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
He's just kind of over there.
Laws? No, apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal herbs?
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Bubu Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach.
That is true.
Do you think Shenhe might be an adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she is an adeptus, that would explain everything.
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them!
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance, after consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant food? If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order
Pretty
a
sure I have,
whole
like,
table of food and eat it all in one go.
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains. That proves it. Paimon knew she was an adeptus.
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition! And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask
Just
Ningguang any
sitting
question
here,
you want
relax.
if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intent. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in return.
Wow! You really don't will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Sweet.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective. We
That's
simply
good.
need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
Veto! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
I like that idea.
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
Look, we want to win this competition. Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plostrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
Baishu, what are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are...
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here, though, you seem to know...
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven
no
Mountain
way.
Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun...
Okay, then. Let's go ask at the Feiyun... Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's...
Will do. I just like flying around, to be honest.
One-Win Bookhouse. Guess this is where we go to buy books in Liyue. Should we ask here if they have a copy of the Liyue volume?
Feel free to look around. There's no obligation.
We're looking for the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide. Do you have...
Sorry, dear. We stopped stocking that a very long time ago.
But the Mondstadt volume was so...
The thing is, the author made it too personal, and the result wasn't really much of a... It barely sold any copies, and the few travelers that did buy it made complaints afterward.
Well, that's a shame. The Mondstadt volume was a good read, even just...
The fact remains that I don't have it in stock. If you must read it, try your luck at Chang the Ninth's place.
Who's Chang the Ninth?
Here we go, running around.
A book collector who lives in Qingse Village. He's a complete grouch, but he will behave himself. He was a regular customer here back when he lived in Liyue Harbor, and I still send him the odd out-of-print book or two every now and then.
Did somebody say out-of-print books? Is there a chance that Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd is also in his collection? Apologies, my liege. Where are my manners? My name is Sing Cho, a humble literature enthusiast who happened to be passing by.
A little sketchy.
Since you and I are both in search of lost books, what say we travel together to Mount Qingse and pay a visit to Chang the Ninth? My pleasure, fellow book lover.
Dang, we got these little. We gotta unlock the rest of them. Ah! Oh, no. Stupid bug. They go down.
A reward on the road.
Gotta be something. This.
Comes the hunter.
Didn't even know that was an event. There it is. Nice. protect. Oh.
Are you? The more, the merrier. Let me amuse myself a little. Blink! The more, the merrier. Let me amuse myself a little. Look at me. Just once more.
Smell of treasure. Strange.
Got it.
I'll race you there.
White iron. Okay, let's go back up here since we went the wrong way. Like we normally do.
Let's dance.
We almost got him fooled.
Are you? Over here! Let me amuse myself a little.
The show begins.
The more, the merrier. Let me amuse myself a little. You really know how to get me going. Get back! Let it rain. The more, the merrier. Look at me. Just once more.
Opening a chest is like unwrapping a gift.
See where this looks.
Not so hard.
I didn't even see that there. Yo.
Wow, these will come in handy. No one escapes my sight.
With the wind!
Get our stand back before we all of a sudden die. Some craziness. Hiding.
Is this an answer from this world?
Easy peasy. Let's do. I think got it. Moving on up. barely made that. Okay, an adventure. Bones pierced, spirit faded, form and soul decimated. Still, ruin, cat feet, the dead bow. That's oh. Okay, let's read. Swept room, snow-capped peak, the depth eyes of O. Depth eyes of O. One, two. Let's face it. Windswept ruin, snow-capped peak, the depth eyes of O. Oh, snow-capped peak. Okay. This one. Snow-capped peak. Right there. that one. Flipped ruin. I think it's this one. Depth dive.
A reward on the road.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, I bet. Okay. I bet that's the.
A reward on the road.
I bet that was a traveling companion, not mine. He doesn't age, so.
The heavens are smiting me. Smiting? Uh-huh. And what do you want? Come on.
We've heard you've got tons of old books lying around, and we want to borrow the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel Guide.
Huh. Don't get me started on the top. After the chasm was sealed off, the family mining business started going south. Then the Fatui started working to sabotage me.
That's no surprise.
To pay off my debts, I had no choice but to pawn off my beloved book collection. Every last book. Do you have any idea what that means? Wrong. That was my life's work. I devoted my entire life to curating, collecting, caring for them, and now they're gone. It's useless ranting and raving at you like... Unless you have other business here, I'm done.
Please tell me that you didn't pawn Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd.
Legend of the Shattered Halberd? There's a title I haven't heard in a long time. You have good taste, my boy.
What? But we don't?
That work was an epic-defining masterpiece. Granted, it was almost unknown at the time it was published, but over time it was the work that came to define the genre of martial arts novels and sparked a plethora of imitation works. Barely any copies of the first edition were ever printed.
The later edition inexplicably went out of print, almost as soon as it was released. A shame, given what it allegedly added to the original story.
Yes, that's right. How did I forget? The original edition's 6th volume of that work is so rare. I could never bring...
You mean you still have it?
Yes. It is my one and only remaining treasure.
Hey, Chang.
Now we have to fight.
You've got some nerve keeping me and my boss waiting like this. I need an answer. Will you sell the Corlapis or not? I'm sure you don't need me to remind you that if you mess with Gentry Moutsai, you're messing with the Fatui.
Oh, you again. But you know I can't afford to give a 70% discount on the price. I'd never be able to buy my collection back.
That's your business. The question is, do you want your books, or do you want food on your plate? Perhaps you'd like to take your books with you to an early...
You...
Whoa there, friend. Come on. This gentleman is either willing to make a deal or he's not. You can't force him to sell against his will.
Just who do you think you are? Keep your...
My liege, I am but one who comes to the aid of this gentleman in his moment of need. I am Xingqiu, disciple of the Guhua clan.
Guhua clan? Did you hear this clown? He thinks he's a Guhua master in this day and age. Oh, there was me thinking the last granddad of Guhua killed over and died by now. Who were you supposed to be then, huh? Some sort of Guhua messiah?
Justice is blind to our backgrounds, my friend. That just makes me someone trying to do the right thing. But you? The weasel who does the tiger's bidding may be less powerful than his master, but he is no less guilty.
I like this.
Get a load of this guy. Just you wait. You'll be so... And you, Chang? You're selling that Corlapis whether you like it or not.
No, he's not.
Oh, how the wolves...
So, just to come back to what we were talking about earlier, could I get a yay or nay about
Oh, what does it matter now? I can't expect anybody to care about me anymore. But since you did stick...
3 long years I have waited for this day. Words cannot express my gratitude.
All right, give it a rest. Just bring it back when you're finished. Sorry, but I'm not about to...
Hey, where are you going? We've still got a job to do over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, him. What do we need this out?
You like reading, huh, Mr. 5-second hero?
Oh, amazing!
Hello, Xingqiu?
No wonder this book is so highly sought after.
How can they bully poor old Chang the Ninth like this? Forcing him to sell his ore for dirt cheap? It's...
Don't forget me.
Oh, so now you can hear what we're saying.
The reason I borrowed this book is that it would be a real pity if Chang the Ninth ended up having to pawn it. And I meant every word I said to Chang the Ninth. I will return his act of kindness. It is the just thing to do.
Let's do it.
I will be custodian of this book, and I will also help find a way to buy back the rest of his collection. Of course I do. An initial plan, anyway. I still need to work out the details.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
Give me a second to reflect. It shan't take but a moment.
You're still here? What is this, a game to you? You think no one's really gonna get hurt? I gotta hand it to the Goofball clan. What you lack in numbers and talent, you make up for in guts.
You about to beat them down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Goofball clan? I meant Goohua clan. That's what you goofballs call it, right?
There's a saying that goes, the insect that shakes the oak tree ludicrously overestimates its ability.
Quit quoting proverbs at me, you buff.
Please leave this place. I will not tolerate an attempt to coerce an honest trader, especially when the one you seek to threaten is one to whom I owe a debt of gratitude.
Thank you, Philip, for liking the stream.
It's cute that you want to stick your neck out for Chang and all. But you picked the wrong time, you little punk. I brought the Fatui to back me up. A whole army of you and your little Guhua buddies wouldn't be able to help you now.
I may be young, my liege, but the path I have chosen makes me no stranger to conflict. Why should I cower in the face of evil?
True story.
Oh, great speech. But now it's time for you to learn your lesson.
Here's the sin.
Are you?
Die, Satan!
The merrier.
Body and time to act. Rank lines your fate. Blink.
Go. Oh.
Over here. Let me read you a verse. Blink.
Let me amuse myself a little.
Got him.
I thought that was just a regular pendant you were wearing, not a vision. You won this round, but you better watch your back. This isn't over.
Oh, it's over. I think I might have some quartz.
Would it be
No, I
too
don't.
much to hope
I don't.
they've learned their lesson?
I haven't been to the new Nether on that realm.
No, you misunderstand. That fellow has a foul mouth, to be sure. But his assessment of the state of the Guhua clan is, well, not exactly incorrect, I suppose.
Hope you had a good stream. Glad you got a lot of work done. I hate to hear that you died a bunch.
Though I long to restore Guhua to its former glory, it is no easy task.
Remember on modded Minecraft when I used to play stream before. I would die all the time in lava.
They've gone for now, but they'll be back looking to cause more trouble before long.
I'll see to it that no harm comes to those who show me kindness.
I would always lose like everything too. I'd always have all my good stuff.
Way to do business, and I will ensure the matter is resolved satisfactorily. It's not like the Fatui to pick sides in a business dispute, but the confident demeanor of their errand boy suggests there is substance to his words. There must be a deeper level of collusion at work here. He mentioned Gentry Mautai. I know this man.
No.
He has a stately residence in Liyue Harbor. Maybe the two of you
That's
could go
terrible.
and investigate.
That idea works, but what are you gonna do?
Me? I have other things to look into. Let me see. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace
Never
in Liyue Harbor in a
remove
bit.
the block which you
You
stand.
really have stuff to do? Are you?
Wow. So that's how that turned out. This whole...
Ugh, this guy is so annoying. Fine. But, as per tradition, Paimon gets to pick an up from now on. He shall be known as... Guhua Geek.
It's like the worst thing ever. Eyes itching. Should probably get off. I'm really enjoying this laid back street right
Who goes there? How strange. Yeah. The master's dealing with some urgent business today.
Urgent business?
The master's been working on a major business deal recently. He left early this morning to meet with the VI.
So, where is he?
I'm sorry. The master has stressed that we must not disclose that information to just... no, I mean, yes. Yes, you are. I meant no offense. Please, believe me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Master's currently in business negotiations at Shinya Kiosk. I beg for your mercy, please. My master will show me no leniency if he finds out.
Art.
Well, my master has much more important things to do than talking to rude guards like you. Luckily for you, your bad attitude will be the last thing on his mind when he's busy negotiating a big business deal with yours.
Thank you, thank you. May your business forever be blessed by the Lord.
Nice work! Paimon never knew you were such a tough negotiator. Paimon loves compliments and all, but treating Paimon to some tasty snacks would show that you really
He's always
mean
wanted
it.
to.
Anyway, seems like the VIP client in question must be one of the Fatui. In that case, let's get ourselves over to the Shinua.
Let's confuse them.
Business is booming at the Shinua kiosk. No one should notice if we blend in there. But either way, if we want to know what kind of shady business they're up to, we better be careful.
Poop. Flew up high. Paying attention.
I understand. I do. Please do not worry. You have my word that the order will be completed as promised.
The subordinate I sent was not quite so optimistic in his appraisal.
We'll get it.
Is somebody being uncooperative?
We just ran into a minor procurement problem, is all. We haven't managed to purchase the core lapis yet. But it's nothing for you to worry about. If Chang the Ninth won't sell, I can buy from someone else.
That would be most ideal. I remind you again that the Fatui care only about the result. We are willing to lend a certain degree of support to this transaction. But if it is not completed in time, you may suddenly find our goodwill comes at a price you cannot afford.
I understand. I am indebted to you for your protection. You know I would not dream of disappointing you, don't you?
We shall see when the time comes.
Darn that old man Chang.
So, Mr. Gentry Moutsai is colluding with the Fatui. Who knows if Guan Peak has made any progress? Should we go tell him?
Might as well. Oh, that was almost a death. Talking about falling to your death.
like you had other things to look into, as if you're some sort of man of mystery. When actually, all you meant was you wanted somewhere new to park
It was
your
a close one.
bedside while you read your book.
I see. I guessed as much.
Did you really guess, or are you just saying that to sound clever?
The course of action we must take is now clear. To start with, please deliver this letter to the Feiyun Commerce Guild, my liege. For reasons that I
go.
cannot explain, I will be unable to join you. There is no need for you to read the contents of the letter.
Ugh, this writing is super hard to read. Paimon can't make heads or tails of it.
Hence why I said there's no need for you. The Feiyun Commerce Guild will have someone who can understand.
Well, why would you want to get them involved? They're one of the bigwig commerce guilds in Liyue. Why would they want to help? Since we got to Liyue, Paimon keeps hearing people mention it. Seems they oversee a lot of business that goes. Having such big backing would be great and all, but are you sure they'd want to help?
No need to worry about that. From what I know, they share my sense of chivalry. Once they have read the carefully
Chivalry's not
reasoned
dead.
and passionately argued case I put forth in this letter, they will certainly
I'm about to
move
hop
to
off
action.
myself after this little cutscene. You have a great night. Sleep.
Gentry Moutsai must be taught a lesson he will never forget. This is something we cannot do on our own. Also, I do not wish for anyone else to know of my involvement in this.
Why not? You're only doing this to try and help chain the night.
To silently disappear at the matter's conclusion, concealing one's name and contribution. This is the chivalrous thing to do. To savor the each droplet of kindness I receive, I am duty-bound to repay with a welling spring of gratitude. I seek neither.
That sounds very lovely. But be honest, you just want them to do it so you can carry on reading your book.
Thank you in advance for delivering this letter to the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Someone from the guild
Hey! Stop!
I wish I could find. Zhongli. Interesting. Cool, fishing.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl.
shield. Cool. Should do. That's a good one. Yeah, that's what I was just using. Cool. Okay.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Her weapon. Oh, big sword. Let's go with a good. Sword. Good with adventure. Kind of want to see what she has. Oh, level.
you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Sorry, buddy, but we're gonna try. Body.
All right, let's go.
Question is, can she get a better weapon? Yeah, her weapon sucks. Pants. Auto add. Sword. Hmm. Better now. Okay, so we can go buy one of these real quick. Enhance the already at base attack. Oh wow, that's Yep.
Next time, be sure to make a proper appointment.
Okay, so we might not use her right now.
Do not seek to emulate the past, for there...
Might wait till we can level her up. And we're gonna try. That's what we're gonna try. What's Paimon have to say? Mel? Wait. Ah! Okay. Pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, let's just do this one. Oh, right here. Wait.
Ah, children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
I've been looking for you.
What is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no, no. You've
Hopefully we
done
get to
so
go back in
much
the
for
teapot
Liyue
and kind of do some
Harbor
cool stuff
already.
again.
I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give
I'll
you
take a
in
gift.
return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it.
I probably couldn't
When you
defeat her
traversed
anyway.
my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do.
Uh-oh.
Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately,
I'm sure I
have
do.
not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power.
True power.
But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just
That's right! Finding stuff's
I can
what
help you
we're
look
good
for
at,
'em.
after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glaze lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glaze lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is Smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all. In any case, Smaragdus jadeite is an Adepti treasure, and the Adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact,
Luckily, I'm not human.
harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Very true.
Maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
I just
Of
unlocked
course,
her.
who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff?
Sort of said earlier.
What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil...
Is that so? But Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a Hold on a moment.
Whoa, that That's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, he mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make
I just
hairpins,
figured I'd try to
and
click on
wanted
it.
to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus jadeite. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing.
Wow.
Talks and talks and talks and talks.
To avoid incurring legal liability, best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Finally. There we go.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any
hairpin.
Yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao. If you'd like—
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or—
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value.
That's a lot.
In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false? Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need to—
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives?
Blah,
We'd like
blah.
to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off.
This is where I need to go. Does not look like it. Maybe up? Club going up on a Tuesday. Yeah. Get it? Nope. No pet the cat. And we here. Four more.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something—
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. Crossel that you recently— My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take—
The hairpins? I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value... My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off.
Of course it has.
We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, well, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers
can
Guild,
always
but
help.
I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Chow.
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Jichao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Or she's a lawyer and she
Right.
plays
I
both
finished
sides.
reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Jichao looks like she...
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or... Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Please. Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and however much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hair. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch,
Somebody's getting
like the
scammed
finest
here.
quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch. Finest. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Miss...
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jichao in tow, too, I see. How are the... You lost them? Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Mora! Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again...
Interesting.
It was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation.
I bet he has them.
Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every...
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Wrong way!
Miss Yunfei, what is this about? Are you...
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
No.
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slight...
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Not so bad.
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talk.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal.
Well then,
Due course.
since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable...
No
Solve
problem.
this problem.
Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now, and I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make...
This contract has so many pages!
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through.
I've had a read through. Everything checked.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case...
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our... Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his...
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win?
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Krosel, you say? I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them.
Customer's always right.
He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per—
Do you have any left—
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study—
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
What should I try this time?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that, yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing—
Is that so? Well, we must— So, did you find anything? So they really are different.
Dun dun
But
dun.
wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossel—
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact—
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite—
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes, this document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossel brought to your store.
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossel won't dare try to deny what—
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay—
Well, that was quick. How come you know so—
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to—
Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor. Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like read—
Again with that casual tone?
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for—
Yanfei, it's you.
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him...
Krosel. Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exact. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Interesting.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that—
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Krosel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me—
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been—
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document—
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is—
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Wrap it up. Club going up on a Tuesday.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking, and if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here?
No. I'm here this time—
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in— Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Bide—
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable— I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be—
you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to come—
You're too kind.
Uh-oh. Alerted.
You guys, it's weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to—
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yan—
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rent. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you're
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake?
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
I knew.
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came
Hard evidence? Something legally binding? Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from Xingxi of Mingxing Jewel.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore in...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hair...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors?
What?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient, considering that, as you say, you were... Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is
Boom.
that what you were about to... You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will... Mr. Crossell, your answer, please.
He's seriously intimidating right now.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jade, but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only did...
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be... If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there.
Bam.
I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client.
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow,
20%? That's as much as I spent...
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or...
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you...
What? But all right, then.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now.
Well, yeah.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has...
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have if we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores...
let me...
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well.
Exactly. Usually, even though
We'll just skip all this.
The right solution depends on your perspective. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, an Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? And Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal... In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while.
Granny.
You've returned. Good.
Well, if we're all set...
Oh, you. All right, then. Go...
I'm off, then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the bit... I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find...
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child... Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Indeed she is. Liyue Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city. Liyue is not the same place. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
It is but a single teapot. There we go. This Serenity Pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a...
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to...
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame even a great big house in the middle, too. Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Well, you're the one with the... Still, why is it so empty here? Oh, wait a second. What is that?
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and, hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. You may leave all matters regarding the up. Your journey may be far from over. But at least this way, you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their... Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their... You may consider me a butler. Now, allow me to explain. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, as long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion the...
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny...
Blueprints.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained, he said, that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, this world is not a true one after all. It provides merely a moment.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. Well, let's not dwell on that. If there's anything you would like to ask,
around while we wait.
Traveler, anything interesting you want to talk? We should get something tasty to eat. Ooh, okay. Super Paimon Tornado!
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms...
Um.
If you ever have any questions about the...
doesn't do a whole lot of good, does it?
I'll remind you again. The law can be both a help and a hindrance.
Oh. Alright, we're gonna teleport here in the street. I am tired. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe.